go ahead and call a special meeting of the City of Murfreesboro Board of Electrical Examiners to order, and I would call the roll.
Richie Boland.
Here.
Norman Brown. Jason Fan.
Here.
Ricky Greenberg. Philip Lim.
Here.
Michael McCann.
Here. Tony
Tony Ogles. Jim Warden Jr.
Here.
Shan Womack.
We have a quorum. Do we have any public comment? Do we have public comment? New business.
Yep. So I'll present that to you, Mr. Boland. So I know this is out of the usual. I don't know if we've ever, maybe once we've had an emergency meeting. So normally we meet every 3 months like usual, so I think August would have been the next meeting. But we just kind of had a hardship occur for one of our electricians, one of our good electricians, Smith Lighting. You guys, always hear good things about you guys from our inspectors. So we wanted to do everything we could to get you guys in front of the board instead of having to wait another 6 weeks. So we called an emergency meeting for this, and I appreciate you guys clearing your schedule, making time for this. So just kind of read what I gave you guys. Smith Lighting Electric has recently had the permit holder, Walt Smith, pass away, kind of leaving the company with a hardship and scrambling to get a new license holder. Smith Electric has been in constant contact with the city staff to notify us of any changes or updates in their situation. I believe they're currently in the process of trying to take the state exam. They're studying for that right now. Due to this unforeseen circumstance, we would like to recommend an extension of their current license for a reasonable amount of time so their company can continue to operate within the city of Murfreesboro. We have representatives. I'm sorry I didn't meet you guys before. I'm the director, Kevin Jones. I've seen you guys in the office, maybe not.
I'm David Smith, is our nephew, Cooper, my brother James over there, and our brother was Walt. We've been in business for about 30 years as Smith Lighting, and he got cancer and passed away during the Memorial Day weekend, and sort of unexpected, sort of caught us off guard. But our nephew, he attended MTSU a little bit and decided they worked for him, and he's ready to become an electrician, so we're he studied to take the test, already took the pre-exams and all that, so he's sort of setting him up for his future and try to keep Smith Lighting going as it is. So I'd just like to thank all y'all for taking your time out today to help us out a little bit. Thank y'all.
So, kind of leave it up to you guys. If y'all have any questions for me, any questions for them, as far as the plans moving forward, be happy to, help you guys out with that.
Mr. Chairman, first I express my condolences to you all.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sorry to hear the situation. Kevin, how long you're asking for extension? What's the reasonable?
I don't know if I was just kind of, hear y'all's story, and that's up to y'all to figure out what's reasonable. I don't know if he's, you need time to study, take the test. I don't know how long that's going to take. I don't know how they can schedule the test with the state.
I think you're ready to take it. Just whenever you schedule it, he's ready to go.
So, I'm going to leave
He's
that.
still doing a little studying.
Yeah.
He's in there.
Yeah.
He's going home doing some studying.
So whatever you guys feel comfortable with, if y'all want to,
Well, we've done it a couple ways in the past, but how much experience, on-the-job experience do you have?
I've been full-time since January, and then part-time all of the previous year when I would co-op out of high school and then go to the job, and then just a couple of summers before that, but I wouldn't really count that.
how many employees do you guys have?
Yeah, 5.
Okay. And then what's your title? Or do you have, okay. Okay. And then Walt was the.
We're a
It
partner.
was all 33% partners, but he was the license holder.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
That would be my only concern, though. I didn't bring it.
I didn't bring my ordinance either.
Anybody got a vote?
Can run and get it.
well, this one right here, I don't know this is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know y'all got the experience, but the license holder let me.
Yeah, we've got certain qualifications that license holder's got to meet.
Now, which-
What license are you?
Yeah, that's my
Do you
question.
do residential, commercial, or is it strictly residential?
Mainly residential.
Which test are you going to qualify?
The electrical contractor, not the limited license.
So-
You're going to the masters, the master bus?
Yes, sir.
Well, but,
If we do if he gets,
yeah, that's what, are you going to take the CE state test?
Yes, sir.
yeah, still, yeah.
That's good.
For us, yeah, well, I think we're tracking the same thing.
Yeah, that was, you had me nervous there just for a second. In the past, we've done this a couple times. I don't know if anybody here was on the board last time you've done that. Maybe you were, but I think we did a 3-month extension.
I think so.
But is that enough?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah,
We could, yeah, well, we could do a 90-day extension, and if for some reason you guys are not,
Well, he didn't have any choice. They're gonna make him study. He's gonna pass.
he's got to.
I'm a professional by
So we got, August will be our next meeting, then August, so then we go to November. That's, we're probably 110, 120 days, so.
Yeah.
If you pass it by 90 days, but maybe if you don't, we can go back in front of the board in the November regular meeting.
Yeah.
why don't we push it out to whatever that day is? That way we don't have to call another special.
Right, that's what I'm
anything.
trying to-
November might be good. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. You know,
My thought was 6 months. Typically, the architects engineering board, they give extension up to 6 months. And I think it's consistent with what the state's trying to do. So the C&E license, once you pass the state, pretty much you don't need, in terms of experience-wise, the
Right, so we have our own licensing laws and rules that you guys know we're working through this challenge right now to try to get all that back on track. But if you pass the state CE test, we'll honor that.
Yeah.
So there's no other qualification that you have to meet from the city.
I think the state CE would be the way to go.
Yes. So, you know when the next, is it November, when?
November, August. So it'll be November 6th.
November 6th would be the next scheduled, well, besides maybe the possible August meeting, but November 6th would be the next.
Yeah, I think if you pass August, you should come to August meeting.
Somebody want to put that in a motion that we extend it through November the 6th?
I will. A motion to extend it to November 6th.
Second. So we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, there you go, guys. Good luck with the test. Again, condolences. Appreciate you guys. I know Cindy and you guys talking with Kyle and keeping us up, so.
Thank y'all for taking time out.
Yes, thank you so much.
Good luck.
He's going home to study. He's not going to.
They're going to do that Zoom. Thank y'all.
That's about all we had. I guess since we didn't meet last time, we'll cover the testing requirements, which is old business. I'll put it in red. Unfortunately, I thought we were making headway on that. And then Pro-V emailed me what's in red. I just copied the email so you guys could read it. But basically, they just ended everything that we had done and said we can't help you guys anymore. So the guy who I was working with, I don't know if he quit, got fired, or whatever. And then so once I got a hold of the president and the lady Hannah who was helping me, they just kind of came back and said, we're not helping. And I was like, well, we got it. I mean, we had the logins, we had everything set up, and they're just, so we're going to take a step back, have to rethink. I've been kind of looking at other websites, of who else could offer this testing. ICC actually has testing, which that's who we take our test through to get certified. The price felt a little steep for what I thought for you guys to take the test, electricians. It was what we pay, which is a couple $100 a test, where ProV was like $75 or $50 for the test. It was cheaper. But I'm hoping to get back to you guys in August with some more, with a better plan. Would it even be possible to just create our own test? How hard is that, do you think?
I think we could, because we're the one that is requiring it under the code, but I couldn't write it.
Well, I know.
But,
I mean, at this point, I'm not opposed
or
to
we just gut what our code says and just say take the.
Well, me and Richie, we started going down that road. We were kind of discussing that, and I think we were.
Until you found that.
And then I talked to Metro, and Metro did it, so I felt good. And then we had that ball rolling, and then that kind of happened. So now I'm back to square one, where I just want it done. So I'm not opposed to trying to, write something ourselves if we want something more tailored to us, or we can look at. I can pull the notes out where we had originally started talking about kind of changing the ordinance, but
It just begs the question that we have all the electrical workers, IBE, I'm sure they have certain tests they use. I know that in the past, a lot of our electricians would use Tom Henry code book for testing.
yeah.
And I think way before, when Gary was still running it, at that time we used Tom Henry quite a bit. When I was in Shelby County, we used Tom Henry too. I don't wonder whether they will help us write the test, this one book there. Tom Henry is he's probably retired now, he's an older guy. He's probably, his company is probably run by his employee now.
You know the name of the company? Tom Henry? Okay.
He's real popular.
I'm sure there's sample tests out there.
Yeah.
That, we could just pick and choose
Well,
questions to ask. And
I've kind of
answer.
thought if we, like I said, I'm not opposed to writing it ourselves. We'd obviously have to write 4 or 5 tests though. 'Cause
Well,
there's-
that's what I was wondering. Would it be better to just cut our license back to maybe a couple, and then let everybody, just recommend everybody that's wanting more than that, go take your CE?
Yeah. We could do that.
Because I don't think we want to ride and grade CE tests.
Yeah, right. I think,
But the limited license, how many people are going after the limited license anymore anyway?
you can't even do anything with a LLE for the city. We had talked about making that an option to have an LLE. You could actually get a city license, go before the board. You guys vet them, what's your experience, and we would maybe allow with the LLE one of the lower level licenses.
Problem with that, you get into legal of, you're asking us to allow our competitors, and that we may have a good reason to, that
Right.
we didn't give them their license, but
I think for our homework, staff, we'll dig in hard the next month and try to really get you guys some answers for August, so we can make a clear direction, whether we just write it ourselves, whether we, kind of redo our license requirements, or maybe we can find another company that offers a test. But so, that was just kind of an update. I wanted to keep you guys up to date on on the answer I got. As far as Norman Brown and Ricky, they both signed up to be on new terms. So they expired in 4 or 5 days from now. That went to council a few weeks ago, so it should be approved and good to go through 2029. Staff news, Katie Morris, she's retiring. Next week's going to be her last week. Precious, right here, she has been named the new office department manager to take Katie's place.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And so you're gonna crack the whip on him?
I was already scared of her. But no, I think Precious is going to be good. She's definitely a go-getter, and she'll, bring some new ideas forward, and I'm excited about that.
Just don't call every meeting urgent, okay?
This is the only one we've ever done that, but I've done it. I didn't want to make those guys wait,
I think that's right.
No, I think it's the right thing.
They had other family, Johnny Walker Electric, I don't know if you guys know, that's family as well. So they were kind of helping them out, trying, but so I didn't feel like, But, so Greg Floyd, I don't know if you guys know him, he's a commercial inspector. He's retiring in August. Then we have another guy, a property maintenance guy retiring. So we got 3 people retiring. So we'll have some new people come in the office. The back page, I had done some research for the city manager and the mayor, and I just thought I'd pass it along with you guys as well. I thought it was kind of interesting. So what we did is I called every code department, Rutherford County, Laverne, Smyrna, Eagleville, and tried to see how many permits we issued from 2020 to 2025. And these are all dwelling units, so these would be townhomes, apartment units, and single family. So the first chart's kind of a breakdown. So we issued, 6647. That's how many new dwelling units we pretty much put on the ground in 5 years. Then you kind of see in green the county. I guess that's Orange, Smyrna, Laverne, Eagleville, 37 homes. And then the chart below that, that's how many dwelling units we started with. So if you look at the 2020 column, Murfreesboro had 63,000. That's how many dwelling units we had in 2020. So now we're pushing that 70,000 number. If you look at 2025. So Smyrna had the biggest growth, I guess, by 16%, just based on, of course, they started with 20,000. So percentage-wise, they had a big growth, but they didn't put the most units on the ground. So I just kind of thought that was interesting. I'm going to try to give you guys stuff like that, just for y'all to look at. It's good stuff to see, especially when you put everybody together. I mean, that's a lot of, 14, 15,000 units for 5 years. That's a lot of, the time you add, I don't know what the national average is, 2.3 people per unit. That's 30, 40,000 people right there in the county. Which I think we all realize that by traffic and everything else we're seeing. So, and then the last page, that's just I don't know, you guys may or may not get this, but I thought I'd kind of maybe start providing it to you guys so y'all can see our numbers. I want to try to do some more maybe electrical specific numbers for you guys. But that's just kind of our January, February, March, currently what we got through May, our numbers. Tells you how many new permits, new commercial. At the bottom, it tells you all the building valuations. So we're up to $280 million worth of valuation so far that's been built in the city. Permit fees, we've made over $1.6 million in permit fees for the whole department this year. So our budget ends July 1, and I just looked this morning, we're at like $4 million, $4.4 million, I think is what we made this past fiscal year as far as permitting fees. That's July to July.
What was budgeted?
I can't remember, but I'm $700,000 short of what I budgeted.
3 days to make it up.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. So I may need a new job. No, I'm just kidding. That's hard, but I got to predict this in March of what we're going to do a year and a half. So that's kind of hard. You don't ever know. Like COVID, I downplayed it, and then COVID, we did good. Like it's insane. And then you're trying to think, well, presidential election, who's doing what, interest rates. So, and it all depends on when permits get pulled, right? So, Buc-ee's was like an $80,000 or $90,000 permit. So, if that gets pulled tomorrow, it looks good, but if it gets pulled July 2nd, well, that goes in next year's budget, so. But I thought it's good for you guys to see those numbers.
Did you say the previous page, the blue, the 6647, is that the single residential?
That is dwelling units, so that could be apartment units. Other than Clary Park, we didn't really add that many apartment units.
Do you have way to separate residential and common?
And what?
If I would ask, somebody asked me this question, how many of the 6647
Yeah.
single family unit?
Yeah.
Can I take that now?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. So like on this chart, the first, we have new single-family units, which is like January is 55. Townhome units is 9. And then we didn't add any apartment units. So in March, we permitted 309 apartment units. So I don't know what that was. That'd be Manchester Farms apartment complex. That may have been that. But yes, Philip, for that chart I gave you guys, that the city manager requested, I didn't break it apart. But if you guys ever want information, just let me know. If y'all guys need to do some research. But if you need it, Philip, I could break it down to apartment
The
units.
reason why is for the electric company, one of the questions we've been punting around is the way we size our transformer.
Yeah.
With all the EV charging and all the thing that people are trying to do, we traditionally assume each home is 10 kW.
Mhm.
The question has been on the table, is that good enough? We put a 50 kVA transformer, we put 5 homes in there, maybe we should scale back to 4 homes. We don't know. And this is a home less than 3,000 square feet. Now, as you know, there's some houses built big and big now.
Are most homes putting in EV chargers now? Is there not a requirement
I
that
mean,
they
a
have?
lot of the new development, they found out that we give them $50 incentive. They'll put a 240-volt receptacle.
$50 incentive?
They still
That's it?
take it. Yeah, people take $50, just,
Okay.
and then
We've been getting a lot
$50 check.
more lately.
And then they'll put a 240 receptacle there, and the way they're marketing it, they market it to these people who buy the home, even townhomes, say, hey, you are living in a smart home, so
Yeah.
with fiber, with EV charging, so anyway.
I can't verify it, but I thought I heard somewhere where they're making you put in like EV ready,
Yeah,
or homes
EV.
available, ready
Well,
to
the
do.
code doesn't require you,
Yeah,
unless the code says so. But most city, like I know Franklin is moving that direction.
Yeah.
And in new home, they want you to put 240.
I know you guys weren't on the board yet, but last year we talked about, I brought something for electric vehicles, and that kind of fell apart, Planning presented it, kind of a new idea of wanting to show you guys that, but that kind of, the legs kind of fell off that thing. I hadn't heard anything about it. So,
There was a big push in the public space, the parking spots, so many spots you need to give
Yeah.
EV, that kind of die on the wayside.
yeah.
I think as the government money goes away, that goes away.
Yeah. So,
We got bigger fish to fry now.
well, that's all I got, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys doing this.
I do have one
Yeah.
request. I've had a couple of our guys, now, I don't know that it needs to come from us, because
Yeah.
we don't want to backlash from it, but can we ask that we make sure we're putting stickers on when we're doing inspections?
Yeah.
Blues, red, greens, whatever, because, if we're not on the site when the inspector comes in, and we go back the next day trying to figure out if it's our guys in the field, now we get a report, but it's
Yeah.
a whole lot easier, and most of them do.
Yeah. Okay.
But we could just ask them to put those stickers on. They do still mean something.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'll bring it back up to them. So I appreciate y'all letting me know, because if y'all don't tell me, I don't know. Right? So, all right.
Motion to adjourn.
There we go.
Second.
All right,